Okay, this is the setup we've got. Not sure how, I nearly said tell me if you can see anything because I'm used to streaming, but I guess I'm gonna have to, this'll, hang, what's visible? That I'm using a switch base to stand it because I don't have a phone base, or a phone stand. I think, okay, anyway, I'll sort that out later. What we've got here, is I've got all the little guys set up here. I've got my light angled towards them, although I might need to, it's hard to see the details on them, but I guess when I pick them up, I'll be tilting them anyway. I think this should be a good setup. Yeah, that should be fine. And this, can it see? More or less. And if I start grabbing shit and holding it like this, you can see all that? Probably. Okay. This brings me to my first issue. This motherfucker. He's stuck on there, so I need to figure out a way to get him off. So, where's my knife? Here. I guess I'm just gonna trace a little cut just around the edge there. Just see if I can separate it from the lid of the olive jar. I don't want to accidentally damage it though, is the only problem. Oh, you can't see shit there, can you? You were just looking at the underside of the jar. Okay, here. This is what I'm doing. And we're just running this around the edge there, hoping to break the seal from the paint. I think that there was just a little pop there. It's starting to lift up. So it's almost free now. And after I've done this, I'll finish setting up the camera and everything, make sure it's all in a good position. And then I'll use my stand mic as well, so you have actual good audio quality. There we are. There we are, we're free now. And it's stuck to my knife because of the magnet. Cool. Well, let's get onto it. I'll just configure everything, watch this back through and fix the angle if I need to, and then I'll turn on my stand mic and we'll get going. Okay, so I've got everything set up, and I was just going through all of this when I realized that the Nuln oil, which I was going to be using for all of the darker bits, is a wash, so it's very, very watery, so it's probably not going to work as a base color for a lot of the other stuff, so I guess I'll go as far as I can with just the reds, but I might need to go and buy a darker actual base paint rather than, or a darker colored base paint to do the under parts of the armor, or the, essentially the things that aren't going to be red, because it's not all red. I'll still be using the Nuln oil for the trims and that, but I just won't be able to do things where like the undersuit is exposed and that sort of thing. But we'll see how far we can go. Okay, so we are set up. We are on our Blue Yeti mic now, so I should actually sound half okay. And I guess we're just going to get right into it. I have no idea what we're doing, so we'll see how we go. We'll start with old mate here. Oh, hang on. Let me just put him on the lid of the olive jar. And so, I haven't really thought about what parts I want to block out as being red, but we've got the corn red over here, which I'm just going to start with, and so we want to block it out. We want to get a fair bit of paint on the brush there, but we want it to be smooth enough that, wow, okay, oh wow, yeah, okay. This is very daunting all of a sudden. I saw a thing where people like test it on their skin to see how well they've done it. I think this is smooth. I think this is good. Sure. I did the painter thing. I put it on my thumb. I can say that I paint things now, but let's just get going. Where do we want to start with? We'll start with his body, because we know that his body is going to be red. Oh, this is scary. I've already painted somewhere that I didn't mean to paint. Well. Now, red has pretty poor pigmentation, so I'll need to do a few coats of this. And I might also have made the paint a bit too thin as well. Oh man, I'm getting it everywhere where I don't want it to be. I think I'm running out of paint. Did I just not pick up much paint? I don't know how often I'm meant to resupply. Oh, I just grabbed way too much. Oh well, let's just water it down a bit. Sure, I have no idea what I'm doing. We'll see how this goes. This is fucked up. I do appreciate having the olive jar lid to hang on to. Oh, I got it all over his face thing. I'm a fool. I'm an absolute buffoon. Maybe I should have my colors a lot closer to me so that I don't have to constantly be reaching over. Because they're currently about as far away as I can physically put them. Oh man, yeah. This is such a thin layer that I had over here. It does not look good. But maybe it'll look better on my second pass. Like on the second coat. But it could also just be, I could cheat and just say, hey, I meant for it to look dirty and worn. That's why you can see like the bits where the paint's chipped off. It's not because I'm a shit painter, it's because I chose to do so. Need more paint. Get a bit of water in there. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. I have no idea what the process with the wet palette is. Okay, no. I think I've got it. The paint has run completely up the bristles because I am terrible at this. It's probably not good, not great for the brush. Oh, look at that. That looks wonderful. Look at that coloration there. Yeah, let's just go back over what we've already done because that looks great. Looks vibrant, looks beautiful. Oh, I got it on his face again. Whoops. But I also want to be careful not to have the paint be too thick or I'll end up masking details. Ah! I lost him. We're good. And we just got to do the top of it. and then the back. And then once we've done this section, we'll move on to a different bit. I don't know if you can see a lot of this because I haven't really, it's a bit of a shit setup I've got, so you may not end up hearing most of this commentary. I might just time-lapse it because you can't see shit. But in the event that you can see all this, I am sorry for my terrible, terrible painting ability. Alright. Honestly, I think that looks quite nice. It's one coat. Of course I'm going to go over it again, but I'm actually enjoying this quite a bit. So where else do we want to block in with the red? If we look at the example they've given us on the thing back there, I could just follow the color scheme that they've done with white, do it with my red, meaning that I would go, I'd do the shoulder pads, I'd do the cock piece there, and I'd do the barrels of the guns. Or not the barrels, sorry, but certain parts of the guns, and I'd do the knee pads. So, yeah, let's follow their example. Let's not try to get too creative. So, let's just do what we can. Yep, that looks good. It's not too fucky. Yeah, I'll just test that. Maybe it's a bit thick. Let's water it down a bit more. Okay, that looks good, I think. I don't know. I'm not the person to ask about this. I think it looks good, so it's good. Maybe when we do the shoulder, we will avoid the Tau logo there, with the Tau emblem. Or maybe we'll do it all, and then we'll go over it with a different color. I don't know if that's what I should be doing, or if I should be avoiding the Tau emblem entirely, but this is how we're doing it. Oh, might this be a bit thick? Might be a bit thick. I think it's filling in those. I don't know if you can see it. I think it's... no, maybe it's fine. Fuck, whatever. It's my first time painting them. We'll see how it goes. I think it is a bit thick. It seems to be settling into the... Oh, I bumped my light. It seems to be settling a little bit into the recesses there. Let's see if I can get my light back. I don't know how long I should wait between coats of this as well. So we'll just have to wait and see. Yeah, the red definitely is a very weak pigment. You can see on the shoulder, on the shoulder that I'm doing here. You can see the paint splitting. It might be that I have it too thin as well. I was worried that it was too thick, but it could be too thin on the contrary. And that's why it's just separating there. Whatever. Let's just continue on now to the gauntlet here. It looks like they've done This central piece of the gauntlet they've done in a different color. So I might do the same. I might paint around it for the time being and then come back to it when I have different paint. Maybe I could do it in the Wazdaka red instead. And I'm also currently avoiding the stealth suit, or the undersuit in the arms, like in the armpit there, because that's a different material and I don't have any actual black paint. I've got a wash, but that's about it. And I think I need a refill on paint. So just to reiterate, this is the corn red that I'm doing it in here. The Wazdaka is a bit lighter, it's more close to an orange. How does this look? Sorry, I'm in the way. Might be a bit thin. We'll get a bit more paint. So how's this? That looks beautiful. Ooh, nearly lost him again. So, again, apologies if you can't see shit, because I can, like, with the scuffed setup that I'm using, I can't actually see the screen of my phone that I'm using to record. Ugh, I fucked it. I fucked it. Anyway, yeah, I can't see the screen of the phone that I'm using to record because I don't have a phone stand, so I've got it wedged in my Nintendo Switch stand, which doesn't really reveal a whole lot to me about the process. I had a few takes where I was just trying to figure out what I was looking at, and so I've got a setup which I think works for the most part. But can never be sure. Okay, and so then we've got the other shoulder over here. Now we're going to go around the Tau emblem, for the time being at least. Just focus on the wider shoulder blade, or shoulder pad, shoulder armor, pauldron, spalder, whatever you call it. And then we'll head down to the gauntlet. Oh, I think that might be a part that I should color differently in there. What do you reckon? That little bit in there, I should probably color that differently, hey? Probably hit that with the Wazdaka. So, let's just finish the hand here. Need more paint. Just come over here, scoop up some of that stuff there. How does it look? Yep, looks good. Probably. I don't know. This is all guesswork. I fucked it. Oh, then we got to do the rest of this part. This is a bit fiddly because I'm getting underneath the actual thing now. And that's not the undersuit, that's like the whole arm is a different color. Or it all appears to be part of the gauntlet there. Difficult for me to reach it. Yeah, I reckon the undersuit continues till about there-ish. What do we reckon? It's a bit fiddly how I'm having to get in there. Oh, can you even see any of that, or am I blocking it with the... Ugh, fuck. I'm blocking it with the olive lid, aren't I? Yeah, honestly, not too bad, I don't think. Oh, there's a little guide on the back there showing me how to color the jetpack bits. It's just fucking prey. So the raised bits are what we'll be coloring. So that being this section here. And along here. If I guess I can afford to be a little bit messy around here, because I'm probably going to do the other parts of the jetpack in a darker color anyway, so it'll cover up the red. I need more paint though. So we'll just go through and do all this section. Oh, I missed. Okay, I got too overzealous and now I'm just being super fucking messy. Hang on, how does this work? I'm confused. I'm quite confused. Do I just draw a line there? I guess I just... Oh, I'm not confident in my ability to draw a line. What the fuck? Alright, witness me. As I draw a line with a relatively dry seeming brush. Yeah, let's wet this a bit and get some more water, or get some more paint. Wow. Should be right. Oh, that cover's so much nicer. Yeah, my brush was getting quite dry. Oh, sorry, you can't see that. I'm getting it everywhere here. I don't like these fiddly bits. I'm making a right mess. And then the little drone thing on his back, I'll paint it, but not the antenna. I'm painting all of this off camera, aren't I? Yeah, it's all right-ish. Yeah, let's go to the cock piece. So, looks like there's alternating colors on the cock piece here. Where does it run to? It runs up. Oh, you can't see that at all. It runs up to about here-ish. Yeah. We'll paint it, we'll just block it all in corn red to begin with. And then we'll probably alternate it with corn and Wazdaka. Yeah. And so, yikes! It's looking quite nice, honestly. So then we'll do the knees and the feet and the gun, and then we'll come back up around to do our second pass of the head there. And then I'll do a quick cut just so that I can make sure my phone doesn't run out of space. Yikes, nearly lost him. Now the knees are not that well sculpted, so it's hard for me to tell what's what, which is a bit concerning. but I guess we can just sort of estimate. This whole section here. Let's just say that this is what it is. I don't give a fuck. Is that correct? I don't fucking know. When I say it is, so it is. Yeah. So then we'll do the foot. And the foot is kind of like a hoof. So we'll just do the two nails of the hoof. Do we want to color the recesses? And then no, we won't color the recesses of it. Yeah, we won't color the recesses. Yeah, we won't color the recesses. I was very deep in thought there about whether I should color the recesses or not. And so, and we go around here. This is really therapeutic. I don't like. I can see why people really like this hobby. Although this is a dicey one to hit. Going at an angle. You can't really see this one. Sorry. It's a bit of an awkward angle for me to get, so I can't really turn it to face the camera. Oh, that does not look good at all. You see, it was this bit here that I'm trying to do. I still don't know if you can see it because of the position of his gun, but it's an awkward angle. Alright, looks a bit icky. Now we'll just do his right knee and then parts of the gun, and then I'll do a quick cut so that we can transfer the file or the recording over to my computer. Yeah, I might actually, this might be fucked. Hopefully this saves. If it doesn't, then we're in trouble. Oh, this knee is a pain to reach. Can't see because my hand's in the way of the light. Okay, I'm gonna pause now before I actually do the gun, because I'm quite concerned. And we are back. That took such an unbelievably long time to swap over the, or to send the files over to my PC, that I was about to just start recording and forget about, like, sorry, I was about to just start painting and do the next coat with off camera, but then it came back, so we're all good. Yeah, so the red bit that we want to do here is pretty much along this section of the gun up until about this point here, and then we'll, oh, I got a bit on the other side there. Well, shit happens. Yeah, so we'll do this whole section of the gun in the red, in the corn red. I still have no idea what I'm going to do with the Wasducker red. Blocking my light. that all along there. Yucky. I think I might need some more paint. I nearly grabbed the mini there. That wouldn't have been great. Yeah, I definitely need more paint. It's drying out. Get some water on that. And then get some more of that. And we'll just... No, that's way too thin. How's this? Looks pretty good, I think. I think being the operative term, or the operative words, because I have no idea. I am not a painter, but we shall see how this goes. And all that time not talking, because seriously, it took me like 20 minutes because I was having some problems with my phone because I needed fucking iTunes to be able to send it across and I didn't want to download that shit. And so I was exhausting every opportunity, well, if not every opportunity, but every other option before I had to eventually download iTunes in order to transfer the files across. So I'm not happy that I've got that shit on my computer now, but we're here now. So yeah, I think that's everything that we want to do for red in the base coat. So we'll go back through and do another, we'll do a second coat of red over all the bits that we've done, see how it turns out. And then after that, maybe go through and start doing highlighting or Nuln Oil with the, like using the wash, and see how that goes. I might even try just putting the wash on the uncoated undersuit and see how it looks, because it might look good. Yeah, for the time being, we'll go back here and we'll just go over the main body. It looks quite sleek now that I'm doing the second coat. Hang on, do I even have any paint left? No, I'm pretty much completely out of paint. I was starting, it was like, I wasn't sure if I was actually making any difference. Yeah, that looks good. Ooh, a bit thick, might be a bit thick. Oh well, we'll see how it goes. Yeah, this might be a bit thick. I think it's filling in some of the recesses. Whoops. Oh, well, it is what it is. Ugh, can't see. And I don't know what happened to all my commentary. I was on a roll for the first half hour. I don't know where it's all gone. Right, now I've done second coat of the torso. Looks quite nice. Well, is it the torso or the head? This is the torso slash head. So we'll move on to the left arm. Again, I think it's a bit thick and getting into the recesses, but it might clean up. It might brush up, so we'll just see how it goes. My first ever mini, so I don't give a fuck. I really should though. How much paint have I got left? Running out. Need more. Get that over there. Dunk them in. How's it turning out? It's nice and smooth. Yeah, I think that's good for that arm. Next up is the right arm. There we are. Again, we'll go around the tower emblem there, because we might go over it in a completely different color. And if that's the case, then having the dark black undercoat there might be nice. And if it isn't, then we can always go over it later on. This will probably have to be done in a few sittings, but at least we'll see how we go. I'm definitely not painting all of these guys in one sitting. Fuck that, that's definitely not happening. I'm not talented, or I guess not talented. I'm not skilled enough to attempt that, and I'm not equipped either. I've only got my base colors, but I think this has been a nice tester, and I'm definitely willing to pursue this hobby. So after this, I might hit up the can't see shit. I might hit up the hobby shop another day and get the rest of the paints to finish this, because this is quite fun. I don't know if, oh yuck, look what I've done. I've made a goof. I've fucked it up. Oh man. Oh man. Oh well, okay, let's, how much paint have I got left? Need a bit more. So we'll go back through and do the knees now. Oop, did I just bump the camera? Now these knees, I'm not a fan of them. I don't like how ill-defined they are. Sorry, you can't see shit here. Neither can I. Yeah, I really cannot see. Sorry, you're not going to be able to see for this bit. not happy with how I'm doing these knees. They do not look good. Ah, well, this one you'll probably be able to see a bit better. Just the left hoof there. Beautiful. I don't really need to worry about getting paint on the floor because I'm going to be, well, on the base, because I'm going to be painting the base separately anyway. How much paint have I got left? Need a bit more. Ugh. Yeah, I'm getting a sore arm because I'm having to like awkwardly hover my hand around the switch stand, which I've got propping the camera up. And also I can't really rest my elbow with the way I've got everything set up. But yeah, it's a bit scuffed, but I think it's the best that I could think of in the short time that I had when I decided that I was going to record this. If I had more time, then I would have been more, if I had more time, I have all the time in the world. If I had allowed more time, then I'd be more prepared. But this was kind of just a spur-of-the-moment idea to get this going. You know? Who knows, maybe if my, in future I might stream this, because this is really satisfying. Like, I could stream this. This is like easy content, you know? Get roasted on stream for how shit I am at painting. Fucking easy money on no, who am I kidding? No one's gonna make money off streaming on YouTube. Yeah, I've no shot am I gonna make money, but wow, this is just like, it's chill. And I could talk to people just as I work. It's good fun. I might need to do something about BGM though, because it might be a bit shit if it's just dead silence as I'm how much paint have I got left? As I shout into the void. I don't know what I'd do about BGM though. Figure it out. I don't think I can't even see where I've done on that gun there. Barely touched it apparently. The inside looks atrocious. I think I was running out of paint as I got onto this bit. Honestly, I may end up needing to do a third coat, but we'll see. Oh, that's what I missed. So I've done second coat on everything except for the jetpack and the little drone dude on his back. Need more paint. How does this look? Looks nice and smooth, not too thick. Okay, we'll do the little drone dude first, because he's a little cutie. Really? I got paint and then I immediately wiped it all off. I should just trust my gut. Like, yeah. I'm not gonna wipe it all off this time. I trust that this is not too thick. Oh, beautiful. Maybe a little bit thick. Who knows? I think that's all right. Yeah, let's go into the backpack. I hate this bit. I was avoiding this. There's the dreaded line that I need to draw near the end, and also this is just fiddly. It's not as fiddly as doing the knees, though. This is... yeah, okay, I prefer this to the knees. Because the knees were, like, concealed. And fiddly. This is just fiddly. Well, sorry, so the knees were not just concealed and fiddly. They were concealed, fiddly, and ill-defined. At least with this, I know what I'm meant to be painting. Like, I know where the paint needs to stop. But I'm getting this everywhere. Yikes. See, yeah, just go over the top there. I don't know how I'd stream this, but though, I'd have to figure out how to run a stream from my phone through my computer and see how I can split audio, because I'm gonna have to go through and post to use my Yeti audio over this here, because right now I'm just recording with both my phone and my my computer with Audacity at the same time, and then I'm gonna feed it back through. So I'm gonna have to figure out how I can do that in real time rather than in post if I want to stream doing this. I'm sure it's doable. I might need to get an adapter or something and feed my, like, plug my phone directly into the Yeti mic or something. But then that wouldn't solve the streaming issue, that'd just solve the audio track issue. A problem for a future me. Oh, I got that everywhere. Yuck. Disgusting. Ah well, should be right. Oh, this is the line. Oh, yuck. Yuck, 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 yuck. How am I gonna do this? Because every time I draw this, it's gonna get more and more set in stone. Honestly, it wasn't that bad. I'm pretty happy with that. Look at that. Ooh! Ooh! Oh, I missed the cock piece. That's what I missed. I just looked at the model and I was like, what looks like shit? And it's the cock piece. Ignoring the overpaint like on his fucking leg there and all over the base and everything, like ignoring all that and like spilling onto the edge of the gun there and all there and yeah, ignoring all that shit. I meant like the bits that I'd actually intended to paint, what looks shit, and it's this right here. Honestly, being perfectly honest with you lot, this is looking kind of fire. Get it? Because he's probably from the Firecast. Anyway, there. I apologize. That physically hurt me. Anyway, I'm having a lot of fun. I think. What do we want to do next? All right, I reckon. Okay. We'll clean up this brush, and then we'll swap over to our null oil and see if we can do some trims. Or actually, we'll probably do that with a finer tipped brush. So I'll clean up this brush anyway. And then we'll swap over to our layer brush. And we'll start doing the Nuln Oil trims, because just looking at this, I don't think I want to do a third layer, because if I do a third layer, then it might start to get a bit goopy. I think all the bits that I was meant to paint red look pretty good as they are. Yeah, sure, whatever. So we'll swap now over to our finer brush for the layer, where we will do it in the Nuln Oil. And I'll only do this for a short while, because, well, I might need to do another cut soon, because I'm looking at my timer and we're at 20 minutes. I got to 29 minutes before I decided to cut it off, and I was nearly out of space when I did that. So we'll see how far we can get in this first run. But the Nuln Oil is a wash, so it's a completely different kind of paint. If anyone knows how to paint, then I apologize for all of my explanations, because they're probably dog shit. But to my knowledge, the way a wash behaves, so it's very, very watery. The point of it is it collects in the recesses while sort of spilling away from the raised bits. Where should we start? I'm sort of scared to start on these bits near the faces, because this is really going to show off how terrible I am at detailing. Oh, my hand's shaking. Oh my god, look at my hand. I can't stop it from shaking. Oh my. Okay. Try bracing this. Oh, this is terrible. This is really hard. Oh my god, I'm getting it everywhere. I should have started somewhere easier. Yikes. I guess the point of this is it gathers in those lower areas. Hopefully it doesn't look too fucked, and if it does, then I don't know, maybe I can do a third layer of the base over the top and just go around these recessed areas. Because I don't know how detailed I need to be for this. Oh, right, I was going to do Wasducker Red for the cock piece there, wasn't I? Well, we'll get to it when we get to it. I have no idea what order this should all be done in, but who gives a fuck? We'll do it how we want. And if it looks like shit, then it looks like shit. I think I need more paint, because I'm not really seeing anything coming of this. It looks like I'm just wetting the model. But I also don't want it to be heaps of paint. No idea how well I'm doing this. If I'm being honest with you, it's probably terrible. But that's just the way it is sometimes. And if it's gonna be terrible, then you gotta own it. It's all gonna be bad in the beginning. I wonder if with the wash, or with the Nuln Oil, I should go completely, so for this shoulder plate, should I go and just try to do the trims, or should I just coat the whole shoulder plate and it'll give it like that dirty look, and then it'll gather in those recesses anyway? Whatever you want to do. Should I, we'll try, just hang on, You know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna go all over the shoulder plate here. It's a textured thing. Maybe it'll look good, maybe it won't. We won't know unless we try. Unfortunately, the mini that I grabbed for this one is the commander of the three. It's like, well, at least the most detailed of the three. So if I do a shit job on this because it's my first time, then I've done it on the one that I want to look the best. So, rip me, I guess, but, well, it is what it is. What I will do is I'll use my brush to drag some of the wash that's gathered on the high points away. I'm not sure how well you can see it, probably not too well because the camera's autofocus is probably all over the place, probably makes it an absolute nightmare for you to see what's going on. But when the wash gathers in the high places there, I'm going to use my brush, or at least try to use my brush, to drag it away from setting in those high zones. I have no idea what this is going to be like. Anyway. What time have we got? 28 minutes. I am going to do the other shoulder plate and then I'm going to make a cut. Because otherwise we're going to end up running out of space again. What am I doing? Just go over the whole shoulder plate like you did for your other one, you fucking mook. Ain't no point trying to be fancy here. Don't try to be fancy if you don't have the skills to actually be fancy. I reckon. Oh, and we should do the drone on the back as well, because it's technically part of the torso. We'll do everything to do with the torso, because I've still got a minute or so before I run out of space. I've done this a bit heavy, but that might actually look really nice. I can see it really gathering in the recesses of the drone there. That could look really nice. Maybe I'll just go pass back over the commander there. And those bits where I really want it to gather in. Maybe I'll just go all over the body there, honestly. That way I don't have this weird smearing shit, and then I can just manually work on cleaning it all up. So we can at least get a light layer of the wash, rather than trying to do fancy shit and making it look bad. Don't want to see like the weird edges where the wash is dried. Okay, I'm gonna have to do another cut here before I run out of space. And so, yeah, we are back. Again, it didn't take me as long this time. Oh, my brush got a bit dry. Yikes. Hope that's okay. But, yeah, where were we? We had just finished the base coats in the red. So what have we got? We've got the base coats in the red. Oh, maybe I went on a bit thick in places, like on the hoof there, that looks a bit yucky. But then we're gonna do highlights in the Wazdaka red, and Oh yeah, we'd gone over it in the Nuln Oil in places. That looks a bit yucky there. I might want to clean that up. Yeah, I might grab a wee bit more of the Nuln Oil and clean up. I'm not sure if you can see it. This section right here, you can see like the line where it's dried. So I got to go over it. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go just around here and bleed it all the way around the edges here. That way at least you can't see the yucky edges where it's dried. Hopefully it doesn't look too shit. And then I'll just pick it up with the uncolored part of my brush. And then we'll use whatever tiny bits of excess we have left just on these little bits here. Perhaps I should have seen if there was a finer brush that I could have gotten. But anyway. Put those little bits in there. This is another really fiddly spot to get into. I think. Oh yeah. Okay, we'll do some Nuln Oil along the jetpack here in those grooves there. These grooves along here. And then let's go back and crack out the Wasducker Red, which is much lighter than the Corn Red. It's almost an orange. So we'll just go around the edges here. Once again, coming back from the break that I had, getting from exporting the files to my computer, I have once again lost my conversational mojo. So I'll need to work a bit to get it back. But I really do like how, I think with the Nuln Oil, I need to make sure I have a decent bit of it there on the brush so that I can get it to fill into those recesses, because otherwise it's just kind of like a smear. But at the same time, I also can't have too much or it looks a bit shit on the high spots. I know I really shouldn't be using this all over, but I'm terrible, and when I paint it, I get it everywhere, and then I sort of have to put it all over so that so that it's not obvious where it has and hasn't been. So we're just gonna have a strange little dirty look to it overall. What this does do though is it helps me define the edges without having to do highlights. So where I've got these boxy edges, it gathers in there, and so it does sort of simulate shadows for me without me having to actually do anything, which is quite nice. And so, what am I going to do with the Wasducker? Also, I really like how the, I'm not sure how well you can see it there, how well the drone has come out here. The head / torso of the stealth suit, not as happy. Maybe with highlights I can make it look good. But let's just look at that. We're all good. We'll put a bit of Nuln Oil on the hoofs, on the heaths. And then let's go and get some of the Wazdaka Red and pattern the cock piece there. And then we'll come back and Nuln Oil it, because I see I haven't actually oiled it yet. So we'll set this brush in the water for the time being, and we'll go back to our original brush that we'd used. Although, for how fine the work we're doing, we might... No, we'll do it with the really thin brush that we've been using for the Nuln Oil. And so let's get some of this Wazdaka Red. Now, this is essentially an orange. I've got it at a bit of a glaze there. I don't really want it to be a glaze. I want it to be... Well, actually, do I want it to be a glaze? Because it'll show through the corn red underneath regardless. Well, let's start with the second one from the top. Well, actually, no, let's do this funky shaped one here. Yeah, I'm definitely glad I'm using the finer brush for this. Oh, yuck, I got some overpaint. I got it on the next one. I understand that I can just correct it with the corn red, but it doesn't mean that I want to have to. Now, how is that? I think that's decent, maybe? This is very, very fiddly. So I want to be careful not to... I'm worried that I've got too much paint on the brush here, and it's going to, like, sit up quite high, like physically sit off the surface. So if it does that, that'd look terrible. Oh, I think I got some on his leg there. I'm probably gonna have to do 2 coats of this, because once again, being a red color, it doesn't coat that well. It's got very poor pigmentation. So we'll pattern it. We'll do the big, we'll do the funky shaped panel there, and we'll do the second panel from the bottom in the Wazdaka as well. And then we'll... I missed. I got it on the adjacent panel. That's another bit I'll have to fix. But then what we can do while we wait for these to dry before we come back for the second coat is we can go and try do some highlighting, which I will probably be absolutely terrible at, but may as well try. And once this is done as well, oh, actually that looks really nice now that it's drying out, because it's such a subtle effect. It looks so bright by comparison at first, but that's also just because it's wet paint. It dries up quite nicely. This does look really, really nice, ignoring all of the mistakes. I like this. Now, if we do highlights, where do we do it? I'd say one point would be along the ridge line here. Do I have paint? I do have paint. So I'd say one highlight that we'll do is along the ridge here. We'll run it along there. Oh, I fucked it. I got too overzealous. Oh, well, we can fix that. It can all be fixed. It can all be fixed. I might have gone a bit too heavy on that. We'll see how it goes. Do I do the highlight on the, like, the mirroring highlight on the other side as well? Surely, right? Surely. Do I still have paint? No, I'm running out of paint. What's this consistency like? That should be good. Well, it doesn't look too bad. I will need to clean it up because it's messy. I'll sharpen it up with the corn red later on. Like, I'll cut back into it. And then for the time being, we'll just bring out the highlight along there with the Wazdaka. Maybe my brush is quite dry, because I feel like it's not translating that much paint. Well, this is a glaze now, but maybe a glaze will be good for the highlights. Yeah, now that I've wet the brush, it does transfer the paint a lot better. Maybe too well. It's no longer a glaze. Oh, yuck. Oh, yuck. I fucked it. Ugh. I'll definitely need to come back through with the corn red and sharpen this up. Yeah, highlighting, maybe not my strong suit. This is a very thin, very, very thin layer of paint that I got going here. Probably not going to look very good at all. But maybe it'll be okay. Never know. Oh, I overpainted, I overbrushed. Yuck. I'm terrible. I'm a failure. Oh, well. I'll definitely need a second layer on that, because that looks bad. Maybe my problem with the highlight was I ran it the whole way, and I went very thick. If I'm quite thin with it, then maybe it'll be okay. I just need to make sure I'm very, very thin with it and sparing. That's probably what it is. I need to be sparing with the highlights. I can't just highlight every edge. Like, oh, I had it, it looked great, and then I did one extra stroke. I need to highlight to the point where I just barely can't see it. I think that's what needs to be done. Like, there maybe? There, yeah, I can just barely see it on the edge there. Like, when I think that I need just a little bit more is when I need to stop. But that looks great. I really like how that looks. Do I need to go back for another layer on there? Honestly, I think that's fine the way it is. What do you reckon? Like, I think the cock piece looks good. Maybe I should... I don't know. What should I do? I'm at a loss. Where was I going to put the Wazdaka Red otherwise? I think what I should do, I need to clean that up because that looks terrible. My brush is dry as shit. So I guess we'll clean that up. Maybe we'll put another thing of Wazdaka there on that second panel. We'll come around here. Maybe we'll Wazdaka up this bit here, but not that little square. And then I don't know. I wonder if it's possible to mix the really watery Nuln Oil with the other paints. I'll give it a shot and see what happens, and if it works out, then I might be able to do a lot of Nuln Oil to a little bit of Corn Red, and then I might have something with the consistency that I could use as a base paint for the undersuit, while still being more leaning towards the coloration of the Nuln Oil. I could just ruin everything though, but we'll see how it goes. So first things first, we need to finish these coats of Wazdaka. And clean up the highlights on the head there. They look really bad. And then maybe come through and highlight the edges of the gun here. And maybe get some tiny little highlights along here. And we'll go back through and make that Corn Red there. Yeah, I don't know. Let's just figure it out as we go, hey? That's what we've done thus far. So we're going Wazdaka Red. Nice and smooth, not a glaze. And so we're going to come through and clean up this coat here. We run it to about there, and then over this way. Very important that we keep it smooth, because we don't want it to look lumpy. We bring it around here, we avoid that little square that we want to leave as Corn Red. Oh, my hands are shaking. Got Parkinson's. Sorry to anyone with Parkinson's. Oh, I got it in the little, I got it in the line there, in the recess. That's not what we want. This fiddly stuff is quite difficult. I might honestly need to do a third layer. I hope it doesn't come to that. We'll see how this dries out. If we're lucky, we won't need a third layer. Because we don't want to put too many layers on, or we'll start to physically see the paint on the model, like standing up. And that's never a good look. How much can you see? Have I moved this? I've leant into it so much that oh wow, okay. I'm sorry, I'm not sure how long you guys couldn't see anything for. I've fixed it. I was leaning into my phone there and I pushed it so that you could see like nothing. Did you have, I might need to go through and blow my Discord. If you could see my computer screen there, that's fucked. Oh, well. You live and you learn. What am I going to do now? How much paint have I got left? Some. I can probably do some highlights. I can probably do some highlights. I can try some highlights. Oh, no, I think I'd planned on doing this panel in the Wasducker as well. Yeah, I think I'd planned on doing this panel in the Wasducker, avoiding again that little square. So this will be another 2 coats here, because this is quite thin, this first coat that I'm putting on it. Two coats is probably bare minimum for painting in reds and oranges. I'm sure 3 coats would really make it pop, but I'm also not confident in my ability to do 3 coats while keeping the paint looking like paint and not, or keep the paint looking good and not like there is paint physically on the Mini. Sorry for the lack of commentary, I'm just very focused here because I've got super shaky hands and I don't want to overpaint more than I have to. Okay. So looking at that now, this is actually looking quite nice, aside from those shitty highlights up there, which I'm definitely going to need to clean up with the corn red. And I think I'm going to need another layer of the corn red on the hoofs there, because they do not look good. They look really yucky. I don't know what I'm going to do with the knees. I might need to approach that when I come back with more colors another day, but we'll see how it goes. And this guy here is really my trial piece, because he's like figuring out what I want to do, how I'm going to go about it, and then I'm going to get some paints to fill in all of the gaps, so to speak, and then I'll come through and I'll finish the set with the guys that are over there. But for the time being, I'm just doing what I can here. Is there anywhere... Now, the brush is quite dry. Get a bit more of that Wasducker red. Now we come back here, and let's see if we can get some very precise, just very fine little highlights. Now on this, where would we highlight? I think we'd highlight just on the top edge here. Very, very finely, just along there. That was way too much. It was a very fat highlight that I just put on there. Yeah, this is not looking good. Maybe I should just avoid highlighting, you know? It doesn't seem to be my forte. That was a good one. I think that was a good highlight that I just did. I'm astonished with myself. Now watch as I ruin it. I didn't ruin it. So should I try again to see if I can not ruin it a second time? Or a third time, I guess? Oh, that's a fucking good highlight! I got 1! I've gotten 1! Okay, I'm happy. Oh, beautiful. Do I dare... Oh, I bumped my camera again. What are we looking at? It's not too bad. You can still see most of it. Can you see when I'm holding it there? Yes, you can. That's all that matters. I reckon we will come through and maybe just try Do I dare try to highlight the drone? It's quite dark, so I think I should. Maybe just along the top of that little ridge there. My brush is dried out. Fuck. Fuck. Oh, this is stressful. Okay, we're going in. We're going in. Hang on, is this? Yeah, okay. I fucked it. I fucked it, damn it. Okay, let's just escape to a different part of the menu. Escape, run away, get somewhere else. Let's do a highlight along this shoulder pad, why not? Is my brush too dry? I think my brush is always too dry. Just get a teensy bit of water. And now let's give it a try. Yeah, I think my problem is that my brush is way too dry all the time. And I guess we don't want to highlight everywhere, so I should chill. But I'm determined to get a highlight that I'm happy with. I know I got one, and that was really satisfying. Should I continue it along there? No, why am I doing this? I'm going to ruin the one highlight I'm happy with. No, actually, I made it better. I'm happy. Oh, I'm happy. Okay, whatever. I think I've got to do another cut, and then we'll come back, and after the cut, our job is to fix these highlights. So we're going to go back in the corn red, and we're going to clean up the highlights here, because I fucked that really bad. That looks terrible. I'm going to clean that up. I'm going to do another coat on the hoofs here, because they look bad. And then we're going to put some Nuln oil on the cock piece there and try mixing some Nuln oil with corn red and see what we can create. So until then, toodaloo. Okay, so we're back into it now. Hopefully this will end up being the last leg. Our goals are... Well, I mean, for you, as far as you guys can see it, I just said it, but it's been a bit for me, so I need to realize what it is that I'm doing. We're going in corn red. We're trying to clean up these highlights, which look hideous. Okay. And then we're going to do some stuff on the hoofs. So I'm going to come in here. Let's do the this side's highlights first, because that's really thick. I'm just going to come in there. Our goal is just to try to sharpen it up. We want it to be as thin as possible. Maybe even give it like a bit of a wedge on it there. It's hard to see because my my light is also making it a bit difficult. I probably want to get a streak of the corn red running between the Wazducker and that antenna there. Oh, I got it all over the antenna. Okay, whatever. Oh man, oh man. Okay, I guess we're completely getting rid of whatever highlight I have running through here in exchange for the corn red, and we're just going to be happy with that really thin highlight that we've got there. So we'll spin this around and come through from the back, and we'll just erase most of this lighter section here. Maybe we can keep a tiny bit of it as a highlight. Can get in underneath it as well. That'd look really nice, I reckon. And then we'll just blend this out so it doesn't look overly like I did a third layer there. I think that already looks a lot better with the highlight thinned out like that. Next one, right there, underneath the frame. How's my paint looking? Needs a bit more water. How's this looking now? Very nice. Okay. So for this, we're going to come up from underneath, and like before, we're just trying to thin out the area that I had highlighted, like that. That's probably thin enough. Now I just need to make sure the paint here doesn't like clump up. The problem I have is that all of this additional coat is going to be visible because I'm going over the top of the Nuln Oil. But if we're lucky, I don't think we're going to be lucky looking at the way that's drying out. If we were lucky, then we were going to see not much difference, but I think it is quite visible. So let's just start painting this out over the Nuln Oil, except not into the recesses, because the recesses are where we actually wanted the Nuln Oil to be. That was the whole reason we'd used it, was for those trims. So we'll go everywhere but in the trims. And maybe, just maybe, it'll turn out looking really fucking nice. That'd be an ideal situation. Sorry, you can't see that. And just looking at it, it does look quite good now. I still need to clean up that that highlight there a little bit. I'm not sure how visible it is for you guys, but it's very, very painfully visible for me. How dry is my brush? It's drying out. Yeah, okay, need more paint. But I think I'm liking this. I'm liking going back over it again. The result is getting better. So we're going to come back through here one more time. Have I pushed this again? Yeah. I keep pushing this. And so we just want to I'm doing two things here. So the first goal was to clean up the highlights, but then I've also got these bits where as this coat dries, it becomes visible where the Nuln Oil has and hasn't been. And so I'm trying to clean that up a bit as I go as well. And so then we've got to run between here and along here. So right now I'm focusing on cleaning up the Nuln Oil effect because it is bothering me quite a lot. I think the wash was nice, but maybe not a huge fan overall. Like, it's, for what it does for me, it causes a whole lot more problems. Maybe if I were focusing more on the washes, like if I was using, I don't know. It's not the effect that I think I wanted here. And that's alright, we live and we learn. And now we've gotten up to the back of this really nasty first attempt at a highlight. So, I've cleaned up the very end of it, and we're just going to go through bit by bit and try to taper it out. My brush has gotten quite dry again, and I'm very, very careful going through here because I've become painfully aware of what it means to have a dry brush. That's how I fucked up these highlights in the first place. And so, just gotta be very, very slow. Really good in the recess there. Okay, now I've accidentally drawn right over the top of that highlight. So, that being the case, I'm gonna, you know, I'm just gonna ignore it for the time being. I think I can salvage it. Now, what I'm gonna try to do is I'm gonna try to go, we're going to run between the highlight and the Nuln Oil. We don't want it up against each other. I think that's what's making it look bad. Aside from how splotchy it looks, it's the fact that I've got the highlight right next to the low light. So if I can get a mid-tone between them, then maybe the overall effect will look a lot better. I think I just smothered some of the low light there. I hope that's not the case, but I think I did. And let's just sharpen up that highlight here as well. Right there, I think that's going to look good when it dries. And then we're going to come back through on the top side here and just try to sharpen it along the top. Oh, I think this is going to look really nice. By the way, I am sincerely sorry to anyone who actually paints for how I'm using the brush, because I'm sure I'm using it terribly. And then I'm just going to clean up the back there, because I don't like how that looks. It's very dark from the Nuln Oil. I like the way the wash looks in some places, but I really don't like the way it looks in other places. So, what highlights have we got left to clean? I've got a yucky one here. I've got a yucky one there, and I've got a yucky one up here. How dry is my brush? It's good to go. So we'll come through to this yucky one here, which isn't too bad. It's just on that top face there. I'm not sure if you can see it. I'm sure that it's very hard to see on the camera probably, because the colors are relatively similar, and my terrible handling plus the lighting probably isn't great for you guys. But it is painfully obvious to me what is happening here. Now, I think I've fixed it with that. So we'll just go and apply another coat to the whole lot, avoiding that highlight, because I think I've sharpened it enough to be satisfactory. So we're just going to make sure the rest of it is all uniform. The rest of this whole section, that is. And you can't see anything, but I'm trying very hard to see something. We'll clean that up there. And my brush has gotten quite dry again. Need more paint. I think this is good. paint consistency is quite nice. That gauntlet does not look good. Let's clean that up. And so, where's our next bit? I think, yeah, there's a yucky one on this pauldron here. How am I going to do this? Because it's right next to those the recesses there, and it's actually filled in a bit. Doesn't look very good. It's a mixture of factors that are making it look bad here. I think if I do the top face, oh wow, I've got like somehow I lost all of my paint. So yeah, I'm gonna do this top face here. I think I just pushed the camera again. I'm very sorry. Do this top face. And then a little bit of this side face. Just a little bit. I'm going to go around the edges. Again, we're not going to fill in the recesses because that's where we've got the darkness from the Nuln Oil. Just going to go over the top face here. Did I have any over? I did have some overpaint over here where I was doing the lower section and I accidentally spilled up onto the corn red area with the Wazdaka. Not what I wanted, so we're going to go back through and just clean up the edges a bit. And then I think that's all the poor highlights that I wanted to clean up. So we'll now go back through. Oh wait, no, there's the one on the drone. I was not wanting to do this. This is an awkward one. My brush is dry. Damn it! Oh, right when I start trying to do it, I start brushing against it and the paint just doesn't come off the brush and it's like, oh. Okay. My brush should be quite wet now, but not too wet. So we're going to come through here very carefully and just thinly go over the top of it. We don't want to completely extinguish it. There, I think that was a really good stroke there. And so now we're just going to go back around and recoat a lot of it, because we've got the Nuln Oil effect, and honestly I think this drone is very, very dark because of the Nuln Oil. So I wouldn't mind just bringing it back to that corn red. Like that nice fuller look. And we'll just feed this around the back here. Like so. Yeah, everyone who paints is probably looking at this and like crying because of all the shit that I'm doing wrong, but I'm happy. I'm happy, so suck it. And now let's do these yucky feet. These yucky, yucky feet. might just put a little something something in between the toes. I don't know if I'm going to regret that later. But, well, it's done now. And let's get the other foot. Again, we'll put a little something something between the toes there. If I go over it in black later, it won't matter, because the black will just completely cover. Okay. So that's this phase done, I think. I really don't know how much has changed since the base coat. Maybe it looks completely different. I'm looking at it now and it just looks red. So, who knows? I guess we'll swing back through. We'll try blend some Nuln Oil with the corn red and see if I can get a darker color. But I want it to be as close to Nuln Oil's color as possible. So I want it to be a gray more than a red. Maybe I could blend the Nuln Oil with white, actually. Or I'll try blending it with the red first, and we'll see if perhaps and we'll see first of all if it comes to a paint-like consistency rather than the sort of filler that we get with the Nuln Oil's current state, like the wash. So we want it to be more like a paint than a wash. If we can get it to a paint-like consistency, then maybe, just maybe, I could blend it with white instead of red and get a light gray. That'd be nice. That'd be very good. But I don't know if it's doable. So that's what we're going to try out now. So I'm just drying out my brushes right now, and we're going to grab some Nuln Oil and mix it with the red in our palette and see if they blend. And I appear to have gotten... I'm not sure if they've actually blended or not, or if they've just mixed. It looks like a wash. Maybe it'll work with white though. That is worth a try, because if I do it with white, then I'll be painting with something that at least isn't pure white, but a light grey, because painting with pure white it might be a bit yucky. So if I paint with a light grey, it'll look like white, and it means that I can highlight with actual white. So let's just pop open this tin of white paint, pop some out on our palette, and close her up. Excuse me, I had a little spillage, but we're pretty good now. Okay, so we're gonna try blend ourselves a very light grey. And if that is doable, then I will be a very happy boy. Let's get this grey going. Come on. Come on. But we don't want it to be too liquidy at the same time, because that could be very yucky. Okay, how does this look? It looks white to me. I hesitate to say that it appears to be a white color. Perhaps if I paint it on, it will not appear as white as I suppose I currently see it. What's an inconspicuous place where I can try it out? Inconspicuous place. Maybe try to do the antenna, because the antenna are isolated enough that I probably won't give a fuck. Okay, so I'm going to pick up a wee bit of this white question mark and try putting it on our antenna. Now the antenna are in multiple parts, so perhaps we'll do it on the larger part. If it's liquid though, it's just gonna float everywhere. This paint's really thick. Actually, is it? No, it's not thick. I'm just a fool and terrible at painting precisely. Probably need a couple of coats to make this look good. Just get it underneath there. And then a little bit on the back. And then we'll just finish doing that little bit there. We got to get a little bit on the underside. This is a bit of an awkward one to reach because I really don't want to get this on the main model like I just did. Fuck. And then over the top again. It seems to be separating. That might be because I mixed it with a wash. Let's do the other antenna while we wait for that to dry, and then we'll come back and do a second coat. Sorry about the lack of commentary here. I've gotten very tired. I've been painting for a while and I'm getting a little bit hungry. I've got some curry in the fridge, so no trouble there, but I'll just need to set aside some time to go downstairs and start reheating it. I think I've been much more precise on this antenna than the previous one, so that's nice. I feel like maybe, just maybe, right now I'm having the breakthrough where I'm suddenly understanding how to use a brush. I could just be getting very lucky right now though. also entirely possible. But who knows? I gotta get a little bit on the underside there as well. I didn't realize that section wrapped around. It looks quite nice. I'll come back through and do another coat on it. I think our first antenna is dry enough for us to go back and do the second coat there. Maybe I could do his face white as well, although the eyes would be different. So let's go through. How dry is my brush? Very dry. There you go. Nearly lost my camera. Sorry if I scared anyone there. Okay, we're gonna do our one more coat. Oh, we're gonna do our last coats on the antennas, and then we're going to do another cut because I can afford to record in about half-hour sections before my phone risks running out of memory. And we're at minute 28 of this section here. So just gotta be a little bit quick, but not so quick so that we make some foolish mistakes, because that is definitely not what we want. But at the same time, it would be very unfortunate if I were to take too much time and then my phone runs out of memory and doesn't save this video, because if that were to happen, then we'd miss out on a whole half hour of painting, and that's not cool. This little bit here on the underside of the antenna is very dicey because I don't want to get any more paint, any more white paint on the main body of the Mini there. But I think that's good. Now we can go back to the smaller one. We've got probably a couple more minutes before my phone runs out of memory, at best. So let's just cruise through this. How much paint have I got? I've got enough. Thankfully, this antenna is much, much smaller than the other, and a little bit less intricate. Actually, it's more intricate, what am I saying? But it's, I don't know, I feel like this one's easier to paint because I don't have that weird squeeze between the antenna and the main body. I've got a little black line there. Ugh, and now my brush is getting quite dry. Here we are. This should finish it off. Beautiful. One more on the underside of it there. And then one more on this side here. Beautiful. Okay. Oh, and then on the back tips there on both of them. I think I missed that. So there and there. And that little point there. Cool. Okay, we're gonna make another cut. And so we're coming back in for probably the last section that I'm going to do this evening. Because I am low on paints, so, well, not really low on paints itself, but I've run out of colors that I can really do. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to just going to make his face white. Yeah, I'm just gonna do tiny little bit, do his face, the areas around it, not the eyes, because the eyes I'm gonna do a different color. Maybe, if I'm very, very daring, I might endeavor to do in between the eyes as white as well. But that might be a little bit fucked up, and I might just do the eyes. Yeah. Maybe the Tau emblem could be white? Actually, I think I like that. I'll do the Tau emblem, I'll do his face, and I'll do these bolts, or these bolts on the sides of the jetpack in white. Maybe the maybe not the whole jetpack. I'm also noticing that there is a section here in the jetpack that I should have done in red, but didn't, so I'll have to come back and do that as well. But for the time being, we're doing face, Tau emblem, bolts, and that's it. And then after that, we can come back through with the corn red just to clean up that face of the jetpack. So first of all, get the brush, nice and wet. Pick up some white. In future, I really don't want to use white for these sorts of things. I don't really want to use white as an actual color for things, because you can't really one-up it. Once it's white, it's white. That's why I tried mixing it with the gray. But we're just going to be very careful as we go through in here. Oh, I don't want it pooling. Please don't pool up. Can I pick that up? There's a little pool that's formed in there. I don't want that. Oh, yuck. Oh, I had a feeling something like this was going to happen. Can you see that? It's like on the underside of his armor there. Not good. Because I wanted to keep that little divide between the head and the armor. Oh, I'd dropped him. How's that looking? It's looking. I don't know if it's good or not, but I've partially done it. This section here needs a bit more work. And now the really noodly bit is trying to get between his eyes. I really don't know if I should be trying to do this, and the angle of my light is not helping, but here we go. So I've got 3 eyes. I'm not sure if you can see them. I'm probably not presenting it the best. I got a bit in that eye. Just try to get it in there. Be very careful. think it's pooling in these sections. I think I shouldn't have done it inside the eye socket there. Yeah, I shouldn't have done it in the eye socket. I should have left that black. Whoops. Oh well. You live and you learn. I won't do it on the next ones. Yeah, because his face just looks like a blob of white now. I should have left the... Yeah, that looks terrible. Anyway, I should have left the internals of the eye socket, like, black. And then I could have maybe colored the eyes, the eye rims themselves, like what they've got on the picture back there. But I didn't. So anyway, meh, it is what it is. We'll head over to the Tau icon, or the Tau symbol on his shoulder. And we will make this white. Obviously, it will need multiple coats. It is not going to just turn white. I'm going white over black. That's not how this works. But perhaps it will look okay when it is done. Apologies for bumping the camera once again. Just got to be very, very careful not to accidentally get it onto any parts that I don't want to repaint. It's just around here. It's a bit where the red had crept up onto the towel symbol. And then we'll just go around over the edges of it there. I'd say that's good enough for the first coat. I'm probably going to need to return to that antenna, honestly. It's looking a bit thin. I can see... Yeah, I'm going to need to return to the antenna. So for all the white sections, probably 3 coats is what I'm going to need. Maybe I could do that section in white. Because I'd left that because I wasn't sure what I'd do, but I guess I could do white for that. I'm running out of paint, so I'm going to need more paint. Brush is getting quite dry as well. I accidentally picked up some red. That's not what we want. That'll spoil the color. So let's just see if we can get this back. It's just our white. That's much better. Oh man, okay, I'm gonna need to come back in the corn red later on and clean this up. And of all the places to do it, it's in one of the places that I really didn't want to go back to. I'm gonna have to be so precise to clean this up. Damn it. Yeah, it looks... okay, I was gonna say it looks okay, and then I looked at his face and I had like... I nearly threw up. I'm very disappointed with how I've done that. I can probably salvage it. With the paints that I currently have, I don't think so. So it might be... that might be a job for another day. But... I'll do another coat on the antennas. And then I'll get 2 more coats on the tau symbol and the 2 nuts, or the 2 bolts. And then maybe I should probably coat at least the outside edge of his face here. How much paint have I got? Not much. So we want to get rid of any excess so it doesn't pool up like it has in that section. Not happy with that. Oh yeah, and then I was also going to do that part of the gauntlet. Underside of the chin, very worried about getting it onto the body here. I did it some more. I'm going to have to come back through with the corn red later on and fix this. But that's enough for this coat. Oh, that looks really bad. Maybe I'd need to, maybe scrape it out with a knife. Once it's dried, of course. Once it's dried, of course. Oh, keep bumping the camera. We'll do another coat on the antenna here. Accidentally got some overpaint there, went into a different spot that I was not meant to. Whoops. My bad. Okay, now we'll just go onto the little antenna. We'll clean up the little antenna, fill it out a little bit. And my brush has gotten quite dry. Oh, I fucked it. You didn't see that. You didn't see that at all. Don't worry about it. I did not get it somewhere where it wasn't meant to get. We will paint this nut, bolt, whatever. And we'll do the other one. Oh yeah, definitely need another coat on this one. This one's got the black showing through quite strongly. And then we'll... I keep touching it, and I don't want to touch it. Yeah, let's do this little section of the gauntlet here. This will also need several coats. Yeah, sorry that the latter half of this painting journey has been quite low tension. So if you're here for commentary, then I'm not really offering a whole lot anymore. I had a whole lot to say in the early half, but I seem to have lost it after probably about the first hour or so. I burnt myself out. Brush is drying, so I'll get some more white. And let's come round back to the towel emblem. Oh, that's way too much paint that I've just put on it, so I'll just dollop it all over it. Then we'll dry out our brush, and then we'll start picking that up. Oh, I got it on the shoulder. Oh, I'm getting it everywhere. I'm making a mess. Oh, yeah. Probably don't need to put anything else on these bolts. So the points to focus on are the gauntlet here, and then we'll go back round to the hideous face. Oh man, does not make me happy to look at that thing. Perhaps I should have painted it all red. Then I wouldn't have to see all of the flaws in my abilities. Okay, I think I am going to probably leave this bit until next time. Yeah, I think I've done most of what I sought out to do. Yeah, okay, cool. I'm gonna call it here for now. There's not a whole lot that else I can do. I'm sure there's plenty that I could do, but this is all that I personally see that I can do with the colors at my disposal. I'm sure there are plenty of very skilled artists who could do a whole lot more with these than I have thought to do, but yeah, I've done a fair bit, I reckon, and another day I will venture out and grab some, I'll grab some other paints so that I can work on the undersuit, the face, the gun, the jetpack, and the remaining parts of the antenna here. There might be other things that I think of, but once I have all of those, then surely I will have enough stuff to just go through and do all of the others as well. All the other things that I've got here, which is 2 more stealth suits, this thing that I don't know what it is, and a drone here. But until then, I'm probably going to call it here. So I will catch you guys later.